So this is a commentary of 4 tables of Pot Limit Omaha short stacking, and I'm just going to get right through it, get into the hands. So playing short stacked in Omaha, it's not entirely different from deep stacked. I guess you can't call 3-bets as liberally. You want to sort of orient yourself more towards high card hands, high pair hands. But you know, you're still mostly adapting to your opponent's play. I don't really like 4-tabling anymore. I find it difficult to make great decisions. I prefer to just 1-table and watch people intensely. I like heads-up play as well. I think that, you know, poker without understanding how your opponent's playing is, you know, it's not really poker at all. And even with Poker Tracker and 4 tables, basically have no reads. So here, table 3, I limp on the button. My hand's not that great. I do have a suited ace, moderate connectivity, moderate high card strength. I guess it's fine for quarter. And here I choose to 3-bet these jacks. No read on this guy. I'm short, which is nice, because if I get 4-bet, whatever, it's no huge deal, I can stack up. Great connectivity, got a suit. And when it gets checked around to me at table 3, I choose to bet. I think this might be too optimistic in a 5-way pot with no real outs. I do have top, and some kickers. Everyone's checking, so maybe I can take it down. But I think it's fine to check as well. 9-9, 10-3. I'm just going to check it back. And I like my sizing here. As you can see, I take it down. It's a 3-bet. I guess that might be a factor of how short I am. And I choose to 3-bet double-suited queens here against a really short stack player. He just rags. And I pick up outs on the turn, but I just check back. And I choose not to bluff the river. I guess that's an alright card to bluff once they check it to me. They can't really have Jack 10. I can easily. I get a double-suited rundown hand. This is pretty good, but in the small blind, I'm not going to raise. My cards are really low too, which is kind of unfortunate. So I'm just going to check fold this flop, of course. I really have a weakness for double-suited hands. I think that's a fine hand, even though it's 5 high. Although, I mean, your draws are never going to be too strong. Flush draws are never going to be too strong. And here, a double paired hand. I think this is fine limp behind too. Maybe I could ISO raise. But basically just trying to flop a set cheap here. Double suited hand, table 4. And I just over limp. I don't think there's much point in building a pot with this hand at this stage. And here, double suited. I think this might be playable. I choose just to fold. I'm not sure if I'm helped by the fact that I'm short or not. Obviously, you know, if my cards were higher, you know, with that sort of connectivity, it would be much better. And I choose to just flat with the nut flush draw. So I'm going to talk about that decision for a bit here. It's 4-way, so I really want to let, you know, worse flush draws in. I don't think I mind too much letting a straight draw in. Raising can clean up some outs maybe. But if I get it in now, you know, against like 2-pair or a set, well, 2-pair, depending which 2-pair, might not be too bad. I think a call is probably profitable. Get 9 nut outs and getting exactly 2-to-1 on my call. There is some chance of getting raised behind, but that's not too big a concern because I would be stacking off with this hand. Even heads up, but certainly 3-way, I would love to get it in here. So I've got 9 nut outs. I guess the 8, 10, and 6 are somewhat dirty. and I could raise. It's a limped pot, so although he's starting from late position, he's betting full pot, which can mean, you know, a strong hand. Could mean something else. The way the hand plays out, in the end, I think he has a set, but I think if I didn't have the pair, this would be a much more clear-cut call. But given that I have a pair, and given the relatively shallow, you know, 6 SPR stack sizes, I think a raise would be okay. So I think it would be plus EV, but I think a call is probably more plus EV, especially if I can get, you know, some worse hands taking along here, because I'm probably slightly behind Pump Meister when you consider all the hands you could have. So back to the video. I do get a call behind, and I turn the nut flush and 2 pair, and I bet. So here I flop just an open-ended middling pairs. Yeah, I think I fold to a flop bet. So an open-ended straight draw in Omaha is not really that strong. And about my bet sizing here on the turn, 2, I like to bet 2/3 pot, just in general, so that it's more difficult for my opponents to guess what I have. One danger is giving sort of a cheaper card to a set, given that he potted the flop. That could be a likely holding, especially after he calls the turn. Although, by the time he calls the turn, it's too late to make a decision. So I think you know, bet sizing is something to pay a lot of attention to in Omaha, to make sure you're not giving off bet sizing tells. So double suited hand here. I think I'm going to open this, and I open for a min raise, which is probably not so good. I like that 3 times raise better just with everything. And I get 3-bet here, and I flat. It's just sort of a speculative hand. I am going to be in position, but with shallow SPRs, I think maybe folding first time and folding the second time could be better. This might be a minus EV spot. Although, like, this is a good hand to go to war with, especially if you're deeper, because it's just going to be some bad spots. And then here is actually another 2 pretty interesting decisions. I think my 10s are connected enough to play here. Obviously not a huge fan of 10s, but with the connectors, one thing is there are still 4 people left active behind me. This guy's a pretty tight raiser, so, you know, with just playing like 10-9-8 and pocket 10s, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to continue on enough flops to justify this call. If I get 3-bet behind, what am I going to do? In retrospect, I think this call on table 1 is too loose, despite having a pretty strong hand, or a marginally strong hand. 10-9-8-7, I think, would be, and also because I'm so short. So if I was deeper, you know, like, I think this would be better. This short, I think I should fold. And even at like 100, I'm not convinced this is a great spot. I open table 2, pretty weak hand, but I'm fine with opening pretty light from that position. I do have pretty good connectivity and a suited ace, so it's not like I'm completely without value. And I'm not sure if I should be opening as much short stacked as full stacked, or exactly how the interplay of playing short stacked versus playing full stacked works out. In table 4, I flop just mid pair, but I have 2 backdoor flush draws, so I thought about the time about getting it in. Obviously, I'm in pretty good shape against aces. I'm only got an SPR of 2, but you know I could get it in so dead here if I did. I think this is tough. Get a some backdoor straight too. I end up folding. I think that's fine. But one of the things about short stacking is you can use your low SPR to your advantage in getting it in much lighter with weak hands here. So I wouldn't mind hearing some analysis from somebody else if I could possibly get it in on the flop here, or if I must fold. And even some analysis with the hand. Also, his bet sizing here, I think, is sort of nicer for me to get it in against that bet sizing. Standard fold. Here, I just check him up. And here, you know, 5-2-3, I didn't give up. I was playing sort of flop something. And in retrospect, I think that was a bad idea. So, I'm not sure how much I like the short stacking. I think it's great to experiment with different styles, and I think like a nitty short stacking style is best in Omaha. Like a leg full or deep stack and a nitty short stack. I mean, this is, you know, a terrible overgeneralization. But I've had some success, you know, multi-tabling and you know, waiting for great spots to 3-bet, strong hands sort of thing. Because it doesn't matter so much. You know, when you're deep stacked, it can be very dangerous to give away a lot of information about your hand early on in the hand. You know, if you're playing very tight, 3-betting aces, whatever. Oh, and this is a really interesting. I think I just fold these jacks, which in retrospect I think it's a call. You know, I just only got 7 hands on the guy, and it's all I was doing. You should call pretty light in these spots. But, you know, am I going to play my jacks as an overpair after the flop hard is the real question. So, and if not, you know, I'm off knowing giving up. But, I don't know. I had something, but I've lost it. I complete here. I think that's fine. Just, you know, despite the connectivity, I fold. I guess I could open that maybe, like to 75 or something. It wouldn't be that bad. I have no reason to expect to get 3-bet too late or anything like that. So here I flat against a button open. I don't like to play out of position, but I think my hand is very strong enough to call. I think I could 3-bet too. I think that would be fine. I mean, I think either is okay. I like to 3-bet a lot of hands, and this looks like an alright spot to do it, but it's not really that strong. So I guess I could even fold. Here on the flop, check raise. Yeah, I like my sizing there too. I think that's very obvious. You know, once I see the flop, maybe I should fold pre-flop. Once I see the flop, I should check raise. At the worst, I've got, you know, like whatever, 20-30% or whatever, and then against like a set, you know, I'm not too bad because I have a straight draw, and you know, against 2-pair or whatever, I'm in really good shape. I mean, I'm probably still losing, but only slightly. So. And then all the times you've got like 1 pair or something, I just fold. Queen 6-4. It's no fold no matter what. Although actually, retrospect, if you fold to me, I should probably try to steal since this guy's playing 11-0. This I'm not going to open. I would open it if it was double suited, but this I will open. Pretty strong hand. No, not too much on the nut potential, but 4 high-ish cards. King, you know, cut off. This is all. It's a very easy open. And pretty oddsy flop, so I'm going to bet call here. Either my pair or my draw would be good most of the time. So not like super excited to get it in. I'm not going to be getting it in. That's, I think, a very easy fold. I think I would probably even fold this if it was folded to me on the button. But, you could easily make a case for raising, I suppose. Although with this weed man playing 77 over 13 hands, I'm anyway, so that cuts out the video, and not a lot of analysis in my opponent's play, but still pretty good. Had some chance to analyze afterwards anyway, and look more at my own play, I guess. So any comments, criticisms, feedback, please let me know, and tell me how I can improve these videos.